This is the plaintiff, Christopher Pope. He says he brought 14 dress shirts to the defendant's laundromat, and 2 days later he got back only 11 of them. The guy lost 3 of his shirts, stopped listening to him, and won't work with him to resolve the issue. So he's suing for the $225 he's owed. This is the defendant, Israel Ramos. He says the company he uses to do the actual cleaning lost some shirts, but the guy wants him to buy him brand new shirts when the ones that were lost were 6 months old. The plaintiff's just a stubborn person who needs a judge to set him straight. He's accused of losing it.
Okay, Christopher Pope?
Yes.
You are suing the laundromat. You've asked us not to mention the name of your laundromat, and we'll respect that, represented here by the owner, Israel Ramos?
Yes.
For $225 in missing shirts, 3 missing shirts that they lost, apparently. Tell me what's going on.
Well, on the afternoon of July 4th, I brought 14 dress shirts to the laundromat to have laundered. I returned a couple days later. I paid for 14 dress shirts. I shortly returned home thereafter, and I noticed that I only had 11. I immediately went back to the store that same evening. I spoke with an attendant at the store. We looked for the missing 3 shirts.
Did they acknowledge that they only gave you 11?
They did.
They did?
Yes.
Because the receipt says, the paperwork says that?
That's correct, and I was charged $28, which is the cost of laundering 14 shirts.
Okay.
We were unable to find the shirts at the store, so the attendant and I called Mr. Ramos, who said that he would look for the shirts. Over the course of the next 3 weeks, there was a lot of back and forth between Mr. Ramos and I looking for the shirts. Mr. Ramos was going to call his provider in an effort to look for them. They never turned up.
What's a provider? He farms all this stuff out?
Yes, I believe so.
So go ahead.
Eventually, I was asked to provide a receipt, which I've submitted as evidence as to the cost of the 3 shirts.
And the 3 shirts were purchased in January?
They were purchased at the end of January, right?
And they cost you $70 then each?
Exactly. And
Okay.
that's the current cost of the shirts now as well.
Okay, for the replacement value would be $70. Correct. All right, so you come in on the, he's been a customer of yours for how long?
I would say about 7 months.
Okay, and does he bring you a lot of business?
Yeah, Chris has been a real good customer. We've
Okay.
been friends.
So, well, not so much. So, so what happened? You guys, it happens. You guys lost some shirts?
Yeah, what happened was sometimes it happens, they deliver to the wrong store.
Right.
And
Or
Chris,
the wrong person. And when I get someone else's clothes, I immediately drive back and give it back. But apparently, I don't have the same luck that other
Doesn't
people
happen
would
to you.
drive back and return the clothes of mine that could go missing. You know, people just.
They like your clothes.
I guess it's a compliment. You're right. So 2 weeks to see if they surface, and what happens? They don't surface.
they weren't able to find
Okay,
it.
there's no question that the 3 shirts are lost, right?
Yes, that's correct. But what happened was Chris was nice enough to say, okay, because he was going away to visit some family or something. He came back 2 weeks. When he went to see if we found his 3 shirts, I wasn't there. My worker was there, and she said, he asked when will I be there, and she told him, and then he came in the laundromat pretty upset, and I had 2 customers in front of me, and he's like, we need to talk now. And I said, and he was pretty loud, and I said, Chris, I got 2 people in front of me. I don't care, he says, we need to talk now. It's been over 2 weeks.
Had he left you messages you weren't returning?
No.
Okay, had you left him messages he wasn't
I had,
returning?
and I've documented all the dates that I went to
Because
speak
otherwise
with
he's
him.
been a gentleman, right? Like, are you sure he wasn't mad and wanted service right now because he wasn't getting paid attention to? Anyway, so he's getting loud, and what happens?
And I told him, Chris, you need to calm down. I'll get to you, but I got 2 people in front of me. And he was making me nervous. So I said, I'll get to you right now. So anyway, after I finished with the 2 customers, he said that he wanted me to write him a check right there and then. And I said, Chris, why are you being so hostile? You know, you and I always got along. He goes, this is business. And I waited over 2 weeks, and I'm not waiting anymore.
So should this guy get the $70, which is what he paid for the shirts? What do you think?
Absolutely.
Why?
They're responsible for your clothing when you
That's
bring
true,
them
but
there.
they're 6 months old. He got 6 months of use out of them.
Absolutely not.
What should he get?
Nothing.
He used them for 6 months.
Oh, so they're valueless? That's kind of the other side.
Now he has no shirt. It's not right.
So should he get $70?
Go with the consumer.
Well, you know what? Not always. Going inside the courtroom.
I said, Chris, you know, I'm sorry that the laundromat, that the dry cleaners lost your shirt, and I want to work with you, but they want you to give me a receipt so we can resolve this. So Chris was nice enough to give me the receipt, and it says here that he paid $209 on January 28th of this year. So I spoke it over with the dry cleaner. I told Chris we'll get back to him.
You mean the people you farm it out to?
Right.
Okay.
And they said that they felt it was fair to pay half since he purchased the shirt on January 28th. Since the shirt's a
Actually,
little...
they felt it was fair to pay $35?
To pay half of what he
What did you
wanted.
offer him?
We offer him $40 a shirt.
$40 per shirt.
Yeah.
And that is because you felt that was the depreciated value of the shirt after being 6 months old. And your problem with that is you want replacement value.
Right.
Because it'll cost you that to replace the shirt.
In order to replace the shirts.
But do you understand that the law is depreciated value?
Right. But being 5 months old, because this actually happened at the beginning of July, so it's only 5 months.
5 months old. They're still used shirts. The question is, what do they get on the market? If you were to try to sell your used shirt, what is some guy willing to pay for it?
Right.
It's not going to be $70.
I can't answer that because I don't think that there's a depreciation red book for shirts, but I can say that if I went to the store...
I can because I do it all day long. It's called rough justice. So I have to figure out what a depreciated value, more or less, of a 5-month-old used shirt is. What could you get on the open market? It is not replacement value. So he is right that there's a depreciated value to the shirts. What I don't understand is if it's my customer, and he's a good customer, and he brings me a lot of business, I say to him, look, my sub is only going to pay $40. I'll tell you what, I'll give you $100 of free dye. If he had said, all right, let's do this. I'll give you $40 for each shirt in cash, and I'll give you $100 in free dry cleaning. What would you have said?
I would have been absolutely willing to take that, and I would have liked to have not even be here today.
Right, and then what? Would you stay? Would you keep bringing him your clothes, or probably not?
Probably, because it's actually a lot more convenient than going to the other one.
I find that people will just do what's convenient when it comes to laundry. And so, and what? Well, out of curiosity, why did you not offer something that would make him happy? Because now he was making you angry because he's yelling in front of the other customers?
Actually, I was trying to work that deal with him, but he told me I'm not doing business here anymore. I want my check.
Okay.
He didn't give me a chance.
I wasn't willing to do business at a provider that wouldn't reimburse me for shirts.
Okay,
Right away.
All right.
He said, I don't
you
want to
just
hear
said that you were because it was convenient, but that's all right. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm just curious. I always love to analyze the anatomy of a lawsuit and figure out what it would have taken to, I don't care, I gotta be here anyway. Doug's gotta be here anyway. We're happy to meet you guys. All right, but I find in favor of the plaintiffs in this case and the depreciated value, and I think $40 is a reasonable amount, and therefore I find in your favor in the amount of $120 for the shirts, $6 for what you got charged to launder the shirts that were lost, $126 plus your court costs.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Well, let's find out if the defendant thinks the customer is always right at this point. What's going through your mind after you hear how the judge resolved this case?
I think she did a great job.
That's what you would have paid, too, $40 a shirt, right?
Yeah, because, after 5 months, it depreciates, like the judge said.
I know. This is about your relationship with your customer. What's that worth now? Nothing?
No, me and Chris are always going to be friends. It's just something that he wanted to take to court,
You welcome him back if...
Of course.
What are you willing to offer him as an olive branch? Anything?
We'll talk. It's up to Chris because he didn't seem like he wanted to do business because he was upset about the whole thing.
You'll offer him some free laundromat services, right?
Yeah, I'll buy him a free lunch. We'll talk over.
All right, we'll head this way. All right, Chris, come on in here. He doesn't seem like he's too, upset. It's up to you now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously not going to be doing business with Mr. Ramos anymore, no.
No. $40 a shirt. It's not the replacement value, so is that enough for you now?
Well,
knowing the law?
It's actually not, because I'm not going to be able to replace the shirts that his company lost. So.
You have to buy those extra long shirts, right? Those are expensive?
Right.
All right, Harvey?
Okay, so here's the thing. You are always entitled to the depreciated value of the item at the time of the loss. And that's a very subjective standard, but it's used in courts literally in every case.